Hi guys, Crystal here. It's been a couple months, 2 months I think, since I did my last and actually my first author vlog, so I thought I would do a new one. So last time, if you watched my previous author vlog, I talked about my overall general experience in the Amazon KDP program, the Kindle Direct Publishing, Kindle Direct program, I don't really know what it's called. The Amazon Select or Kindle Select, whatever you want to call it. I touched on my experience with that. It was kind of a broad generalization of my experience, so today I thought I would do something a little more specific, and that is how many books did I sell last year? I'm always interested in how many books self-published authors sell, not because I'm nosy, but because it's always good to have an idea of what others are doing, how well they're doing, and you know, if there's someone who's doing extremely well, it gives you something to aspire to, and kind of gives you an appropriate gauge of how you're doing, and maybe gives you ideas on what to improve on in specific areas. I thought I would just be very honest and tell you how many books I sold in 2012 to give you just kind of an idea of what it's like for a first-time published author. Last year in 2012, I published my first book in September, and I published Zoe Thanatos. And I talked about that in my last author vlog. Throughout the rest of the year, I published 2 more or 3 more books. They were novellas in my Nick and Layla romance series. The first one is called Walk Away, the second one is called Sorry. I think I did the third one as well, but I didn't have any sales of it until January, so for all intents and purposes I won't include that today in this discussion. I'm just pulling at I keep a record of how many books I sell, and this is a really good thing to do. Amazon will give you monthly statements telling you how many you've sold in the different channels available to sell in, like Amazon Canada or UK or Mexico or India. And I really like to keep track of them all and see what the trends are for when they are more likely to buy certain books. So before I tell you the specific numbers, just keep in mind, my experience will not be your experience. Everyone's different, and there are plenty of authors who do worlds better than I do. They sell hundreds of books, sometimes even thousands of books a month. You can find their stories all across the internet. I think my particular experience has been more the norm, what you can expect. Certainly based on the research I've done in forums and talking with other writers, mine is more on par with, the average experience. So keep that in mind when you're, when I tell you these numbers. Don't expect to, suddenly be J.K. Rowling and sell a shit ton fuck of books. That's probably not going to happen. And if you're publishing because you think that, if you're self-publishing because you think that's going to happen, you should probably readjust your expectations. Okay, so in 2012, I published my first book, Zoe Thanatos, in September, and I followed up in October with Walk Away and Sorry, which are the first 2 installments from my Nick and Layla series. So I sold a total of 41 books in 4 months last year, September, October, November, December. 21 of those were for Zoe Thanatos, and the most I sold was the month it came out in September, probably mostly to family and friends. I did a lot of promotion for Zoe Thanatos, at least what I thought was a lot of promotion, considering I was full-time in grad school at the time. So that was actually a pretty good month for me, and I can tell you that since then I have not had more than 6 sales in a month. So that's kind of sucky. In general, I don't sell a lot of the Zoe Thanatos, even though I have a website, I have a Facebook page, I tweet about it. I'm doing a really kind of big Twitter promotion right now where I'm tweeting the entire novel, almost 84,000 words, line by line on Twitter. You can follow that at Zoe Thanatos if you'd like. I've just recently finished chapter 3. So you can follow along that way if you want. But even though Zoe is the book that I do the most promotion for, it's the book that I sell the least. So I sold the most copies of it last year, but that's not the case this year. It's my least selling book. No, it's my second least selling book so far. Well, there's kind of details on that I won't get into yet. Anyway, so the first month I sold 7 books, which is pretty good. Now this is just on Amazon KDP, for people who bought the Kindle or people who borrowed it from the Kindle lending library. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can do that. There's the budget that Amazon has every month, and if someone borrows your book, you get a portion of that budget. So it used to be like $500,000, now it's $1 million, sometimes it's more. Lately it's been $1 million. So if you have a lot of people who borrow your book, you have a potential to make even more money than you would make if someone just bought it straight out. So this doesn't include Smashwords or any other channel or distribution channel. It doesn't include actual physical book copy sales, just ebooks on Kindle. So I sold 7 in September, 6 in October, and 4 each in November and December for a total of 21. And then I sold 10 each of Walk Away and Sorry. In October I sold 6 Walkaways, 4 Sorries. I sold 2 each in November, and in December I sold 2 of Walk Away and 4 of Sorry. So 41 books. Not bad for 4 months. I definitely have done better since then, even just in the first 2 months of this year. In fact, in September, I sold more books total than in that month than I did in 2012 alone. So that's kind of interesting. And I really like to keep charts and figures on what I sell, because I find it really interesting to see when people are more likely to buy a certain kind of book. And I found that the later months of the year, the school months, September, October, November, December, are when I'm more likely to sell books. I had a lull this summer. I did not sell very many books at all. In fact, my lowest month so far was July, and I only sold 6 books in July, which is kind of sad. But then you make up for it when you sell, 41 books in September. So you have these highs and lows depending on the months. And the more books I publish and the longer I'm in this program, the more I'm personally noticing these trends. Now, you can certainly go online and read about other people's experiences and find out what trends they're noticing, and you'll likely see a correlation between what I'm doing and what they're doing. They probably have months where they do much better than other months, and I think you're just going to find that depending on genre and length of book and the month. I'm sure there are all these variables that if someone really wanted to, they could put them all in a computer and make one ginormous algorithm worthy of a TED Talk. I don't know. Whatever. So those are my book sales for the year of 2012. Again, those were just 4 months that I published. I only had 3 titles. When I started off 2013, I had 4 titles. Now I have, I think, 7 on Amazon. So I'm growing, and I have a lot more experience. I've been doing Amazon KDP Select for over a year now. So I kind of feel like I'm getting the hang of it, but still, they're constantly introducing new variables. For example, this recent Kindle promo countdown thing that they've introduced, where instead of offering 5 free days of promotion, you can instead do countdown discounts where you still get your 70% commission, but there are all these variables involved, like you can't have changed the price of your book in the last 30 days, you have to offer your book for more than $2.99 at the 70% rate. There are kind of all these caveats that go along with it. I have not tried it yet because I actually don't have any books that qualify for it. You can only do the 5-day promotion or the countdown deals at a time, and I've only introduced 1 new book in KDP Select since that program started, and it's still too new to enroll, and it doesn't make it. I don't ask enough money for the book. It's only a $1.99 book, so. And on the other one, I've already done 5 free days of promotion. I've done 1. So I'm not sure I'm going to like that program, so I don't actually know if I'm going to try it. I've been reading a lot about it, and it kind of seems like it's not worth it. So I don't think I'm going to do it. So that was how many books I sold last year. If you have any questions for me about my experiences in the self-publishing my books, please feel free to leave a comment below. I'll respond, or if I think, hey, that will make a great topic for a video, I'll record it. You can see my lovely face again. And I'd love to answer any questions and give you any tips from my experiences to help you in your self-publishing journey. It's definitely not easy, and it takes a lot of time and effort to really see a return unless you're just super freaking lucky. And there certainly are those people who exist who are really super lucky, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit jealous of them, but whatever. I never set about to do this to make money from it, as a full-time job. That would be nice, don't get me wrong. If I could just write all day and earn money and pay my bills and rent, or eventually a mortgage, I mean, that would be ideal, but that's not where I'm at, and I don't think I'm gonna get there anytime soon. But still, I'm going to keep writing and seeing how this goes, and hopefully sharing my experiences with you. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all those things. I'll link them somewhere down below or in a nice little graphic somewhere here. And yeah, I'll follow you back. Let's start a conversation. Let's be friends. I like friends, even if they're internet friends. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.